Justin Bieber is a man on a mission after being absolutely abused by the industry. He is exposing Diddy by leaking all the freak-off footage. This is something Gene Deal actually called could happen recently.
You could indict a ham sandwich, but the Southern District of New York has a 98.2 conviction rate. All right, for those who don't know, if you got 100 people, only 1.28 or something like that, 1.8. Only 1.8 has won against them. So now, what they do, they already got the witnesses, they already got the people, because let me just say something. With the sex trafficking thing, it only takes one witness to convince the jury. One witness. And we know who that witness is going to be. Cassie. She filed a civil suit against him. So it only takes one, in the sex trafficking charge, it only takes one witness. Like Jonathan Odie, who was one of the sex workers, that he gave a testimony, or he gave some information to some agents that he was working, doing sexual acts with Cassie, cross states, going back and forth, this, that, and the third. So it only takes one witness. So now, the reason they haven't went after him, because there's more to get into. It's more to get into. It's not only the sex trafficking, it's the guns, the alleged drugs. And I'm saying alleged because they haven't came out with any formal charges yet. But when they come out with some charges, bruh, and you hit it, the Southern District of New York do not play. And people don't play with them. So I don't understand why this stuff ever even got to this point, but it is what it is. It is what it is, bro. The reason they haven't came down and got him yet, they going through his taxes. You hear what he said? They had all the people that he did business with. That they're gonna go through everything that he did with a fine-tooth comb. And when they set that and they get what they call discovery to his lawyers, he either say, I'm gonna take the time, because if he go to court with it, 9 times out of 10, he gonna spend the rest of his life behind bars. The reason they haven't did it at this point, it's a lot of paperwork, bro. They got a lot of people working different angles. They got the drug angle. They got the tax angle. They got the, what else? They say the drugs, the tax, and then they got the guns that were found. They got to do a trace on the guns that they were found in the house. And then if you got 250 cameras, there's a lot of footage that them agents got to go through. So they got a lot of work to do, bro. They got a lot of work. What they took, how many years to indict Keefe D? They took a lot of years to indict Keefe D. And now he's sitting in jail. So they got a lot of work to do, bro. And it ain't gonna happen overnight. So I would think that probably in the next two months or so, you might be looking at something, bro.
And you said that Diddy, he got over 250 cameras?
He had over 200, they found over 250 cameras in his house, man.
So you do believe that Diddy is going to prison?
Oh, he going to jail, bro. And yo, and I don't wish jail on nobody, on the for real. I don't wish jail on nobody. You understand? But they already got their star witness. And you only, for one charge, for the sex trafficking, you only need one witness. One witness. That's crazy. I don't believe R. Kelly, you see what they did to R. Kelly? He went to jail for sex trafficking. He was dating those girls. Those girls was living at his house. Those girls was going back and forth with him willfully. How the hell did he get sex trafficking? And Diddy don't. Based on Cassie paperwork.
And even before that, Gene had warned that this would happen to Diddy for messing with Justin.
Now, do you think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for to make a witness out of him or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness. Right?
Yep.
What he had just done that is against the law?
Nothing that we seen.
Tampering with a federal witness. If they have already talked to Justin Bieber prior to him doing that, he goes and look like he's searching him. It appears that he's asking Justin Bieber, yo, you got a wire or something like that? Like, you're tampering with a federal witness. That's a charge right there that can land him in jail. Reckless. That was real reckless.
Man, it's gonna be kind of crazy to see everything unfold, man.
And now that there is a good chance Diddy could be going behind bars, Gene Deal believes he is just going to unalive himself.
He has to do some time. How do you think he's gonna handle it?
Usually individuals acclimate themselves into situations and they do the best that they can do. I just don't think him being a free spirit and off drugs, once he gets into that situation, that he'll handle it that well. I could be wrong.
A lot of people believe he's going to end himself.
Well, I heard him say that before when that City College incident happened. He was talking like that back then. Because he thought it was a possibility that he would be going to jail. He lost his job at Uptown. So he's done a lot of things, been a lot of places. I don't think he has the spirit to be behind bars.
And this isn't even that dissimilar to what Usher went through as a kid.
I moved to New York City and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In
to
the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was. But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody
it was crazy.
tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't
But
say
you
that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I
Yeah.
actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
And Gene Deal has always believed Usher seems to be protecting Diddy.
Looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher name redacted, you could tell who it is because they described him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, I mean, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
But I mentioned that earlier that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. Right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bro, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy count?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows. The white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Now the freak-offs being talked about here must be pretty similar to what Cassie went through.
Because the lawsuit is so long. So looking at this lawsuit, she alleges that, Diddy, he'll make her look online for BBCs for their freak-off sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her? It's something fishy about that, bruh. Because you got to realize this lawsuit and the information they had and they gave the Diddy people was 6 months ago. So some of that stuff was cut out. Okay, we're gonna give you this, but you gotta cut this part out. Let's just say allegedly, or just for the sake of it, Cassie wasn't the only one who wanted, or she didn't want it, but Cassie, who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black not only for herself, but for somebody else who we all know that was in the real stories about him being on a yacht. That same yacht that Kim was on, and the same yacht she got her nose broken on, that somebody was doing something to him when they walked in the room, and it caused a confrontation. This is what somebody who was on the yacht said to me. You understand? They was telling that story to somebody. And it was a female. But my whole thing about it was this, is that anything in that lawsuit, you got to realize that we only got a portion of it because it's been chopped up. Things has been taken out. So somebody wouldn't look a certain way. Now, they left some of the things in there. But I'm sure plenty of times Cassie may have seen some stuff that she ain't really want to look at.
Also in this lawsuit, man, this lawsuit is crazy, man. She alleges that, Diddy, he made her hire and have sex with male prostitutes while he recorded it and masturbated.
Lights, camera, action. He do it all. Yo, what you gonna say about that, bruh? You understand? He didn't want it to come back to him in a way. He hiring the people. He gonna put it all on her. Cause she knew what he liked. Cause she wasn't just hiring it for her. Don't get that effed up, Art. If you think that she was just hiring those male prostitutes for herself, nah. Bruh, I was in one of those exotic bookstores with him. I saw this dude pick up butt plugs. And that's the first time I ever seen some shit like that. And when I said, yo, my man, what you getting this for? He said, can I do my shopping by myself? And I said, yeah. And when I looked up there, it said butt plugs. I bust out laughing and went to the front door. I used to wait outside of Turkish baths for them. You know what they do in the Turkish baths?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That's where a lot of gay men meet. And they all take hot baths together. To each his own though, bruh. But that's a lot of that these guys get into when they start having certain meetings with certain people and they meet them at the Turkish bath and they do their meetings and they meet their people in those type of situations where they're comfortable at. So they don't have to worry about their indiscretions coming out. You mean? You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, you know, twice, sometimes 3 times a week, me and the driver be outside. He'll run into the Turkish bath. Got that big ass tub at home, but you want to go? No, go ahead.
Combs allegedly beat Ventura regularly during their relationship, coerced her into using drugs against her will, and made her have sex with male prostitutes while he took pictures and videos of the interactions, according to Ventura's lawsuit. Additionally, according to Ventura's lawsuit, Combs sexually assaulted her following their breakup. When Ventura's self-titled first album, Cassie, was released in 2006, her avant-garde minimalist production captivated a devoted group of R&B enthusiasts. The main single from the album, Me and You, peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was later certified platinum. The album received favorable reviews and decent sales. Rolling Stone, which has hailed Ventura as one of the greatest one-album wonders in music history, claims that the album's sound influenced later R&B heavyweights like Kelela and Jane Aiko. Even though the songs on her debut album, especially Me and You, were hits at the time and were staples in nightclubs, Ventura appeared to incite a certain kind of misogynistic resentment among the general audience. She had trouble performing live and, according to The Guardian, posted on MySpace about her efforts to get over her stage fright. Internet fans had even once petitioned for her record label, Combs Bad Boy Records, to remove her from its roster, as Vice remembered in 2014. In 2007, there was a rumor that Cassie had been dropped by Bad Boy. However, Combs refuted the rumor at the time. Before splitting up in October 2018, the couple had an intermittent relationship for almost 10 years. According to Ventura's lawsuit, she went out to dinner with Combs at an Italian restaurant in Malibu to finalize their split. But Combs went home with her and sexually assaulted her instead. In 2019, TMZ published a report in which sources said Ventura had cheated on Combs with a personal trainer he'd engaged, according to the tabloid, to keep Cassie in shape. According to sources close to Ventura and trainer Alex Fine, they began dating following their breakup. The two married in 2019, and in 2022, when Combs released his first new song in 7 years, Gotta Move On, he appeared to be still not over it. "You found a new man, so I gotta move on," the lyrics read. "Guess you got a new agenda, with someone you barely know. I won't say you're wrong, guess you had to move on." Ventura's lawsuit alleges that while winning the Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2022 BET Awards, Combs addressed her in his statement. "I have to give a special shout-out, thank you, love, to the people that was really there for me," he said. "Cassie, for holding me down in the dark times, love." Ventura's complaint, however, claims she was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands. Gina Hewing, another ex-partner of Sean Diddy Combs, previously stated that the rapper struck her in the head and stomped on her stomach throughout their 5-year romance.
Baby 2. When did Baby 2 come?
Last year in August.
So, talk about that conversation. You're pregnant, you tell him. And this is obviously after 6 years of you guys being together.
And mind you, it wasn't my fault that I got pregnant. I told him, because I have like this period app and it tells me when I'm ovulating and stuff. So I told him that I'm ovulating, so don't do it. But he just did it anyway, and then I got pregnant, and he like, okay, just get an abortion, like no hesitation. But this time was harder for me because I had been with him for so long, and I was like really in love with him, and part of me wanted to keep it, but he didn't want it. So we had agreed to get it, but I only agreed to it because he told me to. And then we went to Turks and Caicos like a couple days later, and during that time he was like giving me drinks, like alcohol, like giving me drinks to drink, and I was just like, I'm not comfortable. It got really crazy that time. We was upstairs, and he had like, we were in his closet, and he like pushed me and I fell to the ground, and then he like stood over me. So I was like laying on my back, and he stood over me, and he started like punching me like this. Like, he avoided my face, but he like started punching me like on the side of my head, and I was just like covering my face. And he did that, and then after he got done doing that, he like, because he was standing, his legs were like in between me, so he like stomped on my stomach like really hard, and I like took the wind out of my breath. I couldn't breathe, and he kept hitting me, and I was like pleading to him, like, can you stop? I can't breathe. And he like stopped for a little bit. He like grabbed my hair from the back and like was like punching the back of my head, because he was just avoiding my face when he was like hitting me.
Wow.
The next big fight we got into was I can't remember if it was like in November or beginning of December of last year. At that point I was like fighting back, because I just had enough of his shit, and pushed me to the ground outside, and he took my hair and like was dragging me across like the grass in my hair with my hair, and then after that like a couple hours later, like it was the weekend, so we had people coming over, and he just like acted like nothing happened. So I mean, but that's all the time, like every time.
Now, when you say acting like nothing happened, like what were his mannerisms?
Like, he was just dancing and like laughing and talking to me like we just didn't just get into a physical fight.
Wow. When was the last time he put hands on you? When was the last time?
It was like in November, December of last year.
Of 2018?
Yeah. That was the last time.
And tell me about that incident.
That was the meditation room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a lot.
The claims were made by Hewen, also known by the moniker Virginia Fifth, in a 2019 interview that has come to light in the wake of Cassie's shocking lawsuit against Diddy. As news of the government raids spread, the celebrities who attended his parties and the colleagues he made famous remained relatively silent. The Washington Post interviewed around 40 people about the disgraced entrepreneur, who declined to speak on the record. I can't help but think that there are a lot of people who at least had some clue as to what was going on, and that they've chosen to protect him, says culture critic Jamila Lemieux. Money will go a long way in terms of protecting you. If you can pay people for their silence, you can get away with a lot. Combs has not been charged with any crimes and has consistently denied any misconduct. Federal authorities have declined to comment on the investigation's current state. Several cases say that Combs would film these sexual sessions, with 2 accusing him of exploiting the video to manipulate the participants. Gene Deal definitely confirmed this.
Stevie J speaking on it right now. He'll be one of the first dudes that they'll probably pull to the side and say, yo, well, you say that your man, I heard you on TMZ say that he never did this and he never did that, but ain't this you? If those pictures or those films or anything like that exists, you know what I'm saying? That's what they pay those agents to do. So, of course, I don't believe that none of the people who are his celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
The Rob said in his affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, yo, bro, can you imagine? He had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs or little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man, all kind of crazy shit. Bruh, they just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be known. But not only celebrities, I don't think it's only celebrities gonna be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there. Hallelujah. That's crazy.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes of stuff.
Now, it seems Justin Bieber is grappling with the demons of his past. Justin Bieber acquired a new house for himself after his wife, Hailey Bieber, allegedly begged for some space amid rumors of their marital problems. According to In Touch Weekly, the model needed a clear her head space, and the Peaches singer granted her wish by sacrificing his own. According to an anonymous source, Justin got another place in Beverly Hills so he could give Hailey the space she wanted. He's only there a couple of nights a week, if that, but it's still really tough on him, according to a source. The same publication also reported that the pair is at odds over their previous relationships, their desire to have children, and the singer's often immature behavior. According to the most recent story, the baby singer has been working hard to preserve his marriage since he is so dependent on Hailey. She's everything to him. Personal cheerleader, assistant, cook, muse. He's lost without her, but he's trying to be tough about it because this is something Hailey wants, added the source. The beauty mogul is grateful for the space, but the singer is hating this idea and hoping this is just a phase and they can go back to the way things were by summer's end. That's all for the video, folks. Thanks for watching.